It's November 12th. Back in here after this big buck. Well, I'm not really. I'm setting my plan up for that deer, but I'll take any other nice buck that comes in. My original plan was to get up on the ridge above his bed this morning just to see what the wind was doing. And at first, it was a really good wind. And if you believe it or not, it started changing to a bad wind. So I was just getting ready to back out, and it was still dark out. And a deer jumps up in front of me. Sounded like it was definitely a single deer. It was more than likely a buck. Sounded pretty heavy. You know, I can't help but assume that was him, but I really don't know. Never saw him. Came around to the other side of this hill. Kind of a saddle meets up with the top of a ditch here. Just a good place for any deer to walk, and especially a buck to cruise through here. These does like bedding around the tops of this ditch as well. I had one blow at me. I was staying kind of at the top of the ditch and the wind cut off. The cold thermals started dropping down. Had a doe blow at me. There was 2 does bedded over here the other day that I ran into that big buck for the first time. They just are notoriously does in here. I've also kicked up some nice bucks. There's always big rubs in here. I've never thrown a sit in this spot, so we're gonna see what happens. That buck followed the script perfectly. Just absolutely perfect. What that deer did. When I stopped him right there, it was probably about 14 yards or so. I actually had that buck at 20 yards, in the end of October, and that was like a mile and a half from here. I just kind of don't want the hunt to be over. Once you fill that buck tag, then it's, I don't know, the hunt's never really over, but I don't know, I just love the process so much and being out here. Me personally, I could care less if I ever kill another deer again. That is the goal, and they sure do taste good, but I don't have to shoot them all. I've come to peace with it. It's just nice being out here. Can't beat it, especially when one follows the script. I love that. There was just a little tiny faint deer trail right there, and that's what I pretty much set up on. The way he was angled, he came off this side hill and was just angling right through the saddle. I mean, it was just perfect. So, good deal. Midday, got out of that tree. You could tell it's pretty windy again. Bounced out of that area. Just don't want to hunt that buck with this wind. He has way too many advantages. It just swirls like crazy. So, came over here. This is where he summers, in this area. He spent a few days of the rut here last year. Just walking this ridge out, had a spike right in front of me. I looked down, there was a doe. So I dug the camera out, but it doesn't seem like anybody else was with her. I just want to do some inventory and see if this buck is traveling over here. I don't think he is, but it's the rut and he might be, so just want to see if he's utilizing this region. But I know there's always some other really good bucks that use this for the rut, so I'm just trying to keep tabs on it. I have today and then 2 more days to hunt. PA archery, maybe half a day on Sunday, maybe, but getting down to the wire here. Oh man. Bow hunting sure is something, but I just put my video camera down and was walking down the ridge more and got right to my trail camera, and I looked across the little ravine. I see a doe take off, and behind her is just this giant 8-point. He's a upper 130s 8-point. I mean, his G2s have to be 12-13 inches long. He's just a giant buck, and I've never seen him. I've known about him, I have pictures of him, but I've never seen the deer. And they were cutting through this thick stuff, and I took off sprinting with an arrow nocked and cut him off, and the doe went by me. The doe went by me at like 15 yards or less, and the buck was right behind her, and she hit my wind, and then the buck hit my wind, and he vanished. The doe kept running around though. There was another small 8-point, 4-point, and then I look out of the corner of my eye, I have another doe running in, and it comes to 3 yards. This doe comes to 3 yards, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna get crazy. And out of my left, and then out of the other corner of my eye, my left side, I see a 10-point coming pretty good buck, nothing huge, but a nice 10 point. He comes into 5 yards. I'm at full draw, and he's quartered towards me, and he saw me draw the bow and took off. And then I just got in this little hole, started grunting, and a button buck came in 2 yards. That was insane. I'll tell you what, I can get about as close as you can get without killing a deer. The rubs in here are nuts. There's just giant rubs everywhere here. I don't know what to do now. All of those deer got my wind. But that's the power of a hot doe, and holy smokes. I wish I had that on video. That was one of the coolest things that's ever happened. Look at the size of this rub right here.